I didn't hear mommy. Shut the door. Okay. Okay. It's impressive, isn't it?
That's a
Oh yeah. So does the boa I got? Actually, you actually sent me the shit for it. Never mind. Oh my God. Fucking work, Discord. Okay, so I can, yeah. Okay. So without using its own ability, without using the whole gimmick that it has, it's just a standard longbow otherwise. Okay. I cannot wait to fucking use it. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with this shit. Um, I do have a question, and I'm gonna keep this as vague as I can. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I'm gonna keep it as vague as I can so that you can understand Kane, but nobody else can. Um, would it be possible for me to use the big ability of it as the delay? So if I like say I fired an arrow high enough in the air, almost straight the fuck up, could I use the actual ability like my next or however long it would take the arrow to actually hit something? Okay. You you understand what I'm trying to get at though, right? I think it would be pretty cool if I could. But if I can't, that's fine. Ah, okay. That is right. Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
It is what it is.
Hello. How is everybody?
We are here. Ready to
Excited.
ready to just, fucking get our imagination on. World's greatest video game engine.
Oh, yeah.
The totally real Engine 28. I'm 28 years old. Yeah, I'm old. It's okay.
Not by much. I'm gonna be 27 in just a few months, and Kane will too, so.
I'll be 29 this year. I'm getting closer and closer to 30, and it fucking hurts me.
Same. When I was
I can't-
applying for jobs a few weeks ago, or a few months ago, I was applying to jobs and they put me in the 25 to 30 category now instead of low, and I was like, oh god.
That hurts. Yeah, I can't believe it's already been 10 years since I've been in high school. It doesn't fucking feel like that.
Same. Somebody posted on my Facebook page the other day, hey, people that were graduated in 2014, how does it feel that your 10 years is next year? And I was like, oh, fuck off.
According to my back and my knees, this year I'm turning 62.
That's why you picked Mortimer.
Yeah.
It just felt right.
I worked at a insert retail name here, and a lot of people, because of my back, I heard it last July carrying a TV with my coworker. We were part of the drive-up team. Everybody started calling me Grandpa Jax, so that kind of works. Yeah, I own a cane.
I love it.
I want a cane sword. I would love to have a cane sword.
That would be sick.
They sell
Like,
those
and-
at our jockey lot here. Just letting you know.
The only reason I want one is because of the movie The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Dorian Gray had a cane sword, and that's what turned me on to cane swords. They're just so fucking badass. I loved that movie so much in all of its cringiness. I fully understand that maybe it wasn't a great movie, but I don't give a fuck. I loved it, man. Dorian Gray, even though he turned out to be a villain, was probably my favorite character. That depends on where it goes. I was thinking maybe well, I mean, obviously it's fully up to the DM and the rest of the party, but a little bit of downtime at the start. We just got done with a pretty badass fucking fight that scared the fuck out of me. I wouldn't say the fear of God, because that would imply there is one. Maybe the fear of death, because that exists. Still don't care. No, I think Driffin now has a phobia of paralysis and spiders. I think I'm gonna slowly work it in. It's kind of a thing he doesn't realize is kind of brewing after, you know, that traumatic fucking event. Because I mean, realistically, think about that. You were paralyzed, couldn't move, and this fucking phase spider attacked you. Would that not cause some fucking PTSD?
Also, yes, because I don't like spiders in the first place. So I already have that fear of them. So if they learn to paralyze me, I think I'd just die. Like, off myself. Done. Also, depending on what happens in the session, we may or may not start learning stuff about Reyna's background. Yay!
Cool.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to learn everything about all you fuckers. That's part of my character, though. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I got the bad game today. That might get me canceled. Yeah, I went out and got it. I've been trying to keep myself away from it so as not to strike anyone in any sort of way, but you know what? It's a game.
Hello!
Hello, why are we still in the pregame? Well, I guess...
Haven't started gaming yet.
Alright.
I already did my pregame rolls.
I was actually gonna say I'm pretty sure last time we accidentally spent the entire game in pregame. Just say.
I was not paying attention to my Discord notifications. Me and Alex were trying to get her Iron Leads and Walking Lake, and I didn't know what was going on. My bad. I just didn't see. Let's see, where was it? Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. No, you added players. No, I just didn't see it. That was my bad.
No, you guys, it's actually technically my fault. I have a second job where I do like a photography school. Like I'm a student advisor for a photography school. And tonight we were supposed to have a feedback session from 7 until 8, which is why we were gonna have to push stuff back. But At about 4 o'clock today, my dean messaged me and said that none of the students had actually posted anything, so there was no reason for the said feedback session. So, I told Kate, I was like, hey, we can actually start on time. I'm sorry for last minute.
Bro, let's just say it's nobody's fault. I was late. It's not a big deal. I don't feel like everybody's at fault here. If you guys don't mind waiting on my ass a couple of minutes.
Oh no, like I've said, I want it to be very fluid because I understand people have jobs, people have other obligations, people have families,
Yeah. Well, Alex had originally planned on doing it after D&D, but and I thought, oh hey, I got some free time. Let's go ahead and knock it out. But we got Walking Wake. We were not quite able to beat Iron Leaves, but that's fine. I think Brandon is in the other chat helping her out now. So
I was gonna say if they don't get it, I don't know that I have a whole lot to help, but I'm willing to try afterwards.
yeah, of course. But yeah, I'm here. Sorry for being late.
Oh no. So as of now, we are aboard the ship, and we have just been sailing for a couple of days, and you guys have had your experience with
Baron von Baron von Baron.
yes, Baron von Baron von Baron, Baron von words.
We should either call him Baron or BV.
That is completely up to you guys. Whatever you want to nickname him.
You guys are... Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, and you guys have active memories of the first time you encountered with him and this last time, as it kind of comes flooding back. When you first enter the arena, air quotes.
Oh yeah. We can do something about that if you guys want, but I'd be down to just get into downtime. Do you guys have anything planned for your second half of downtime? I know Raina trained athletics with Wolfram in the first half and taught Griffin some stuff, but was it Arcana that Raina taught Griffin, or was it a different language? I don't remember.
I believe it was the language.
Okay.
I do want to say I want to encourage interactions between characters because I think it would be fun and interesting to see the developments, especially with a fresh new face on board.
Hell yeah! What does Guizo want to train now that he's got a new family?
Really good question. Can I go last?
Of course. I mean, I think that makes them, kind of figure out what everybody else is doing.
I feel like he would sit back and he would join somebody in learning a new skill or doing whatever you guys were doing. He would hop on and help out.
Let me see. Durfin, didn't you already know what you were going to be training? Were you going to be training something with Raina?
I don't remember. I know I was teaching Driffin another language. Weezo, didn't you want to learn fishing?
Ooh. Have another fishing contest.
Yes, I did. I did message that in general chat because I said I was going to forget. Thank you so much for reminding me.
You're welcome.
My problem. Maybe we'll have another fishing contest. Oh, I know when Driffin gets these figured out, Driffin wanted to have a sort of sparring sort of training arc with Driffin, or sorry, with Wolfram. So it's kind of an extension of Wolfram's training with Raina. Now Driffin wants to polish his fighting abilities by sparring a little bit with Wolfram, I guess.
Yes, I remember that.
I think that could be a lot of fun. I look forward to that.
Do you know what you want to train, Raina?
Let me look.
As long as you see my mute thing up, I'm muted.
You've got big muscles now, so you've got that going for you.
I love how you say big muscles, but compared to Wolfram, I'm teeny tiny.
Well, yeah, but you can like climb ropes and swim and run really well now.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Hmm. Ooh. Does anybody want to learn bird calls?
That sounds cool.
I think there's just like a night on board or Wolfram. Everybody's kind of out. And, they're just having a good time, like kind of out on the. Let's see. Yeah, it'd probably be under deck. It's well lit. Just having a good time drinking. There's some music, some singing. Some of the sailors probably have musical instruments. Would that be the case, DM?
Yeah. I think the two big guys. Again, I need to find their names because I have them written down on a post-it note somewhere in all of my mess.
Right, Rod Todd.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Cool. Sorry.
Oh, it's all
It
good.
happens. I believe that they probably have an accordion and a pan flute.
I like that.
I'm sure there's
yeah.
a hurdy-gurdy somewhere on board too.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's a appropriate time to pull out the old bird whistle.
Guizo, I literally was just looking at my sheets and I'm thinking about what kind of and about to ask what kind of language that Guizo might know that I don't know because I was going to ask to learn a language. Primordial is perfect. I don't know Primordial.
Okay.
Perfect.
He only knows common and primordial.
I was trying to spit it out while my mic was having problems, but Raina was teaching Griffin Arcana.
Okay, it was Arcana. All right.
Okay, that makes more sense because I was like, okay, so I taught you Arcana and I taught Mortimer a language. That's why I got confused.
You taught him Celestial, is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
Maybe Guizo and Reina could learn languages from one another if they want.
Heck yeah, I have Elvish, Common, Dwarvish, and Celestial.
I'm gonna say I know this is a weird, super picky thing, but I don't think you could learn Dwarvish in a couple of weeks, even if you were like really devoted to it. Because to me, it feels like a really clunky, like it feels like it would be a super clunky language where like things mean other things because the symbols look a certain way and all that kind of stuff.
Understand that like languages are probably going to be a little bit harder to learn. Like skills, you kind of pick up something or learning how to use a tool or a weapon. I could see that, but I kind of get what you mean. Languages are probably pretty tough unless if you already are like good at learning languages. But
if you devote more time to it, you can definitely learn it. But I just, those are complicated languages, and especially like Primordial. Don't get me wrong, you can definitely get a start on it because you'll have a good 2.5 weeks of a start, and that's pretty good time.
Well, I was gonna say, if that's the case, what if I just kind of put not proficient, just beginning, or something next to it?
Yeah,
so I can't read it,
make a
like,
note.
I'm definitely not able to speak it completely, especially
Broken.
fluently.
Start doing.
But somebody that kind of knows a few words.
yeah, you're picking it up. You're conversational.
Yes.
Guizo, if I may, this is just some lore that I happen to know about the universe that I thought might help flavor this.
Go ahead.
So Primordial is actually broken up into 4 languages based off of the elemental planes of fire, water, wind, and earth. You being a fire genasi most likely speak specifically the dialect Ignin,
Oh, okay.
So you speak the language of the elemental plane of fire, probably the best. You can understand all of them because it's kind of an intuitive language. But I would imagine that yeah, it's something kind of like probably primarily Ignan, the language spoken by the denizens of the elemental plane of fire. I don't know if that gives you anything, but
I kind of find myself
You could train a
comparing
skill
it
if
to like
somebody else
the
can learn
multiple
it.
dialects
Teach it
of
to you.
Spanish.
100%.
See, what it makes me think of is mainland French and Cajun French. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, let's see. Yeah, yeah. I imagine there's like some idioms that are just like, maybe disagreement is just,
Yeah.
it's like water on a flame.
I like
Don't
that.
like-
That's funny.
They just speak in sizzle.
I don't know. I'm just throwing some stuff out there, but yeah, their elemental languages are broken up into each element. And primordial is the tying together. It's kind of the equivalent of common for the elemental planes.
I like the idea that Guizo, in order to speak the water elemental dialect, just drinks a cup of water and speaks while drinking the cup of water.
All gargling.
You gargle. I mean, essentially, yeah. And instead of waving, you just kind of make a wave motion with your hand.
These are not the gargle you're looking for.
All I can picture is just. Oh my god.
So
I feel like I just imagined what you did.
I bet you do.
So I'm gonna cut to a specific thing. The first night after you guys leave the island, you kind of have cots, like hanging hammocks and stuff that you're in. Wolfram, can you make a wisdom save for me?
I sure can. Shit, I don't have any dice. Sorry, I kind of rushed over here.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm gonna roll this set, even though it hasn't treated me very well in the past.
Ruh-roh.
Alright, I don't know what my plus is, so I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, that is a 10.
You don't know what's going on, but you're awoken from your sleep by something hard slamming into your back.
Alright, I'm up. I'm up on my feet. Trying to, draw my weapon.
So, you were disoriented for a second because you were so suddenly awoken, but as you stand up and draw your weapon and look around, you realize that you seem to have fallen through your hammock.
Hmm.
And there's a clean cut down the center line.
That's not good. He curls up on the floor in his wolf cloak and goes back to sleep.
All right, that's the entirety of that interaction. That was just something I wanted to put in there for reasons.
Sounds good to me, man. Driffin, did you wanna? I know you just got your mic troubles figured out. Is there anything you wanted to specifically do? We can jump around in time.
I mean, aside the only real specific thing I wanted to do was one, I wanted Driffin and Wolfram to have the conversation about the wolf.
Sure. Do you
And-
want to?
Kind of have a sparring session like sometime later.
Yeah. Let's do the. I mean, it makes sense to do the kind of conversation first. Do you want to do that now? Like,
Yeah. Well, so for
are sitting up at night and go ahead.
well, the way I pictured it was, what would Wolfram find himself doing at any given time on the ship during the day?
Wolfram is doing nothing. He is bored out of his mind, and he's just kind of sitting most of the time, staring off. into the distance because normally,
1,000 yards.
yeah, he just doesn't. He just has that completely blank expression that you've learned to associate with Wolfram, and he's just
Okay.
kind of like on a box looking out.
So, Griffin would find a time to approach Wolfram and just kind of silently sit by and watch him, observe him, looking for the moment that Wolfram may notice and engage.
You're looking at the wrong motherfucker to engage you in conversation. I'm sorry. That is the opposite of Wolfram's personality.
So Griffin pulls his dagger out and begins just playing around with it, flipping around, picking his nails. So what's up, big guy?
Brother Griffin, you are well?
I'm all right. Something's been picking at me lately.
Yes, what is it?
What the hell was that monster we saw on that ship?
Oh, yes, I knew that we must talk about this eventually. It is complicated. Wolfram kind of tugs at his wolf cloak that he always wears. It is the art of my family. Been passed down from father to son for generations. It is how we got our name.
See. So, exactly how does that whole thing work?
Have you heard of the Berserkers?
I believe I have.
We are much like these. We only go further.
So, do you have any control over that thing?
Wolfram kind of gets a far-off look in his eye. Says, mostly.
So, when I see that thing, still you, right?
Wolfram pauses. Look, you have spent enough time with him that you can see a look of uncertainty in his eyes. And he says, mostly.
See.
I would not get too close. It is hard to tell friend from foe.
See.
Have you heard the legends of the Black Wolf on the battlefield?
Can't say that I have.
In my country, it is an omen of death. This is because of my family.
Mm-hmm. An omen of, whose death exactly? Anyone standing in the way? Maybe your own?
Anyone who stands in our path.
Be sure to keep out of that. Unless I absolutely have to.
I think Wolfram kind of has a mixed expression now of like not necessarily shame, but kind of thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
Wolfram kind of sighs.
So do you have any idea of what's going on when that thing takes over?
Hold on, I actually have out of character. I have quotes for this.
Okay.
I prepared. Can't believe it.
Also, I'll say anybody from, so that would be Griffin and Wolfram, anybody from Eldra would at least know the symbol of the Black Wolf is to meaning an omen, you know.
Okay.
Excuse me, being a bad omen.
No, if he would.
Superstitious soldiers believe that a black wolf on the battlefield spells like defeat.
Okay.
And the lore reason for that is that Wolfram's family has been on the continent for a long time and worked as mercenaries and would be hired on to slaughter entire platoons.
Yeah.
Griffin, you were basically a hit squad.
He wouldn't necessarily know the reason behind it, but people are afraid of black wolves
Yeah.
on the battlefield.
Especially since, like, Driffin, you are from Eldra.
Yeah.
Or at least you have, your memory of life is from Eldra. And, like, you mostly see Arctic wolves, like the wolves that have adapted to live in the snow. So you see gray wolves and white wolves, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black wolves are not often seen, especially ones as large as the skin that Wolfram wears. The wolf is strong, but it cannot do much more than destroy. I rely on it, on its strength. But I cannot trust it to protect my friends. You understand this?
I understand. Interesting.
I did not wish to hide this from you. Sorry, go ahead.
I think I've RP'd out. I know
Sorry,
where to go from here.
I'm not exactly giving you great.
Well, it's true to Wolfram. He wouldn't be able to give too much, honestly.
Yeah, but I don't want to make RPing harder for you by having a character who's hard to RP with. So I'm making an effort.
It's fine. I feel like most of Wolfram and Driffin interaction will be in the heat of battle, I guess.
Yeah.
Our in-depth stuff, because both characters are not very good at conversation.
Yeah. Okay, I got an idea. Why don't just Driffin and Wolfram kind of, we kind of talk ourselves out. Wolfram has talked more than he's talked in like a month. Driffin doesn't know what else to say. So we both just kind of hang out on the deck of the ship, Driffin messing with his knife, Wolfram just kind of sitting there not knowing what to say. And who knows, maybe Misfit comes over and is just kind of like lays his head on Wolfram's lap. We just have like a nice little moment. Sorry, go ahead.
I could see that happening. I'd be okay with that. We just kind of share silent moments of just having no idea what to say to one another.
Yeah, but it can also be kind of nice. It's just camaraderie, we're quiet together. It's uncomfortable for a moment, but it fades into a comfortable silence.
Yeah, I'm alright with that. That's cool.
Yeah, and I like the idea of Misfit coming over so that Wolfram can become friends with Misfit.
That's fine.
All right. I think that'd be a good way to close it out. We're just kind of standing on the ship, looking off into the blue horizon, and Wolfram just kind of puts his hand on gently onto Misfit's head.
All right.
Scene. Okay.
And cut.
I was literally saying, if that was not such a nice scene, I was gonna be like, and here comes Reina, Mrs. Charisma, to fuck up the whole thing.
Well, please,
With her happiness.
please come over. I'd be fine with that.
I feel like Reina would come out and see Misfit just chilling in Wolfram and be like, aww.
I will say I would love to have another scene with Reina. I feel like the scenes with Reina and Wolfram are always great.
I'm down.
Okay. You have anything in mind? Is there anything that Reina wants or anything that Reina wants to do?
I'm trying to decide if I want to learn how to fish or if I want to learn kind of a more, instead of learning a language, maybe more of a handy skill.
Reina and Guizo can fish together. That would be a good bonding experience.
Straight up, I was gonna bring it up. If you guys want, we could all do another fishing thing where Driffin and Wolfram are fishing again, just to have something to do because they're bored. Guizo and Reina get in on it, and Driffin and Wolfram are just kind of like carefully trying to teach them how to.
I love that so much.
What do you think?
I feel like Reina would be trying to use magic.
I think that's awesome.
She's essentially the redneck fisher with the dynamite.
Yes!
Fucking fireballs into the water.
I have shape water. I can see Reina just trying to shape a bubble around a fish and pull it out of the water.
Suffocate it.
I love it.
That's so good.
I hope I'm not terrorizing the DM.
No, it's great.
No, I love it.
Oh,
It's
God.
so funny. I love it, and this is what I wanted. You know, I want to encourage some interaction between players and stuff. You know, and I like this kind of stuff. So, how about just for the clunky math rock side? How about the people who are teaching people who don't know how to fish? Give me a survival check.
What? Yes, I was gonna ask for a survival. Fuck yeah, I can do that. Okay. Oh, that's good. That's a 16 plus 4, dirty 20. Okay. Who am I teaching? Who would want to be taught by Wolfram, Guizo or Reina?
I feel like Reina would pick Wolfram to help Guizo not be too intimidated, because Guizo is still pretty new.
That's true.
That's fair.
I don't know. Has Guizo gotten used to Wolfram's sort of stoic silence?
Well, the day we set off on a voyage, I watched you turn into a wolf. So,
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, he's been kidnapped. He's kind of seen shit, so that it's not too like engraving on his mind. But he's a 15-year-old, so he's a little like intimidated, I think is the word I would use for Wolfram right now, as of right now.
The kind of like dramatic irony there, I feel like, is that Guizo doesn't even know that Wolfram turned into a wolf and basically murdered all of his captors.
Right, no, and he doesn't know how sweet Wolfram can be. He doesn't know yet.
Well, even Wolfram doesn't know that, so. Yes.
I was gonna say, it might actually help if Reina and Wolfram or if Reina learns from Wolfram, because Reina kind of understands Wolfram a little better than Wolfram does. So.
And it would demonstrate, yeah, I can very much
Yeah.
see Wolfram like sitting down and very carefully kind of guiding you, showing you how to like tie the knots and use the various, and then he like pulls a piece of liver out from somewhere, and you're like, where did you get that piece of liver? And he says, do not worry about it. And you show you how to put it on the hook.
I feel like Reina would just be like, okay, no questions, got it.
Actually, yeah, like that was a very good check on Wolfram's part. He, oddly enough, explains like you know, this is something that you haven't gotten out of Wolfram, which is something that he knows well. He's a survivalist. He lives off the land, and you know, explaining his skills is something that he's able to do with great efficiency. At least it seems in this moment, as he goes through the standard steps of like, this is how you tie your knot. This is how you bait your hook. This is when you pull. Etc. Etc.
They're all very short sentences, and a lot of it is just him showing you what to do with your hands, kind of like carefully guiding you. You never really hear him say more words than he needs to in a description, but you kind of get the idea still. If that makes any sense?
Most definitely, yes.
But yeah, I feel like that would be good. Yeah, Wolfram showed you how to fish.
Woo! I know how to fish. I also feel like Reina would at least have to try the shape water thing at least once. Can I try it once?
We need to have a moment of like Avatar: The Last Airbender where Reina is trying to like lift the fish out of the water.
Yes!
Perfect.
I can see Reina go, Wolfram, I need you to catch it! Grab it around the head!
Yeah, well, she is floating it in front of Wolfram, and Wolfram just like tries to grab it out of the air.
I can totally see that.
Are you sure this is a good idea? He's just like frantically trying to grab at it.
And Raina's like, probably not, but it's funny.
So
And it's fun.
so Reina, make a spell attack for me. Just roll your d20 and add your spell attack modifier.
That is a 16.
So you manage to like you're watching, and it's kind of hard to gauge it really well because this is like the sea, it's not as clear as it seems, but you do manage to like scoop up a little bubble of water that has 3 or 4 little small fish in it.
Wolfram doesn't say anything, but I think I like the idea that he's assisted by covertly throwing some like fish flake sort of food into the water to attract them to the surface.
I love that so much. Ironically, Raina can keep this up for an hour.
Just too powerful.
According to Shape Water, I can keep that up for an hour. Will I? No.
All right. So that leaves Driffin and Guizo. Does anything special happen in your fishing interactions?
So, I feel like Griffin would kind of see what's going on over there, and being that Guizo's a teenager, would have this. What's the word I'm looking for? This need to just show off and show him something cool.
Hell yeah.
So at some point, Griffin would tie a rope to an arrow
Hell yeah.
and the other end to his wrist and just look over at him and say, "Watch this," and he fires an arrow out to try and catch a fish, bow fishing.
That's sick.
Wolfram just mutters, "Show off."
Roll an attack for me with your bow.
All right, 17 plus 6, 23.
Yeah, I mean, you managed to nail your target. Make a strength save.
Yeah, that's fair. $16 plus 2, 18.
So you nail through the flank near the head of this. I'm gonna say like it's a decent size. It's like a 4 foot long fish. It probably weighs like 70 pounds. It's a decent one. And you feel it kind of pull, but it's not. You were ready. You're able to pull back and pull this guy aboard.
Hell yeah. That's a...
He pulls it up and he's mustering all the strength that he can because this thing is a lot heavier than he expected it to be, and he looks over at Wolfram and says, "Looky here, big guy."
Oh.
Wolfram gestures up to the giant swordfish skeleton that's still hung up on the between the rigging of the ship.
Yeah, to be fair, the swordfish sword is probably as long as the fish that you have.
He looks over in defeat.
Don't get me wrong, it's pretty impressive still, but Wolfram is very impressive when it comes to feats of divine intervention almost.
I almost died for this fish. I think I deserve to win.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're eating good tonight, boys.
So, Guizo, has that given you some time to think about stuff that you would like to do during the downtime at all?
Well, Guizo is amazed by Driffin's bow fishing. I have daggers. I don't have anything that I could use to fish.
I'm sure there's some fishing supplies aboard.
Yeah, I mean it's a It's a ship, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they would carry that sort of thing, you know.
Cool. Okay. Can I fish?
Yeah, why don't we just do like a scene where like we all just spend the afternoon fishing? Like we show you first, and then we're all just kind of standing together with our rods overboard. We're just like fishing.
Okay. Because I want to practice my cooking. While I was making guizo, I gave him cook's utensils.
Um, should we all just roll to see if we get any fish?
Yeah, everybody roll survivals for me. Yeah, just roll survival checks.
There is also a tool, fishing, like this, since the fishing is a toolkit. I think you can have proficiency for that. I'm not certain. I actually don't know. I'm thinking about it. Fishing kit proficiency. But like you can have a proficiency in like a cooking kit, like for Guizo.
I rolled a 6 plus 4. I only got a 10.
Ooh.
I was gonna say you can go ahead and add your proficiency if you are using the stuff that is on board.
Yeah, you're being, taught and guided by two people who know how to do it. So, by the way, can Wolfram pretend to be focusing on fishing, but actually like trying to aid Guizo, not discreetly?
That's a 13.
13 from you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Like this is fishing. It's simple for Wolfram. I don't think it takes much to not 100% focus.
My kind of offer would be like I roll at disadvantage to give him advantage by like, or hell, I'll even forego the roll if I can give him advantage. Just essentially like, he looks like he's fishing, but he's actually kind of like, secretly trying to aid somehow. I'm not exactly sure.
That's I get what you're saying, and that is perfectly fine with me. Guizo, you can roll again and take the higher of the two.
Nice. That makes it an 18.
Nice. So subtly that you almost don't even really notice. Wolfram just like, he gives you like a hold your wrist kind of like this. It gives you a better grip. And just those kind of little small tips, and it ends up really helping when you hook a pretty average sized fish.
Yeah. I feel like by the time it's also getting to like, sunset when the fish start to come to the surface, Wolfram just throws out like another handful of bait on the top of the water while no one's looking, or at least not Guizo.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm using for bait because I know fish feed doesn't exist in this, but there's probably some sort of granulated like grain or something, or like maybe what is it? Can't you like dry fish out and like grind it into like flakes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could do
maybe
that.
you've got some of those on him from being on board so long. Oh, sorry.
Fish eat meat, and they can also eat like vegetables, like cucumber and stuff. So you're to chop up whatever we find on the ship.
Yeah, I can very much imagine Wolfram just having some fish flakes from previous fish that we've eaten on board.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There you go, you got a nice fish. What kind of fish is it, DM? Is it a lobster? No, wait, that's not a fish. Never mind.
I mean, it is a crustacean.
It's a sunfish. No.
Holy shit!
No, it's not actually a sunfish.
Because it's a moonfish.
Fish are just a reflection of sunfish anyway, so. God, that was a stupid, super
I
nerdy
love
joke.
It's okay, I was making that joke too.
It's okay. Jesus. By the way, I rolled a 17.
17? Perfect. Like, that day goes pretty well. Everybody rolls pretty well. Wolfram and Driffin definitely kind of haul more in. But Weasel and Reyna, you don't have as much trouble as you thought you would. Like, it actually kind of comes naturally, with the tips that you've been given. You get a decent haul.
All right, nice. We get a couple of fish, and we'll if asked, Wolfram will pass over his fish to Guizo.
Sweet. Okay. So, are we about like dinner time? Would you say?
Definitely. You have time to go ahead and do your chef thing.
I
We're going full hibachi. I want a table, everybody around it. I want to cut this fish. I want to cut all the fish, like skin all the scales off and get the spine out. And I want to hold the fillets that I have. And in front of everybody, I just want to hold my hands up, cast prestidigitation, and cook the fish.
Produce flame might work a little bit better for that, but maybe.
Either way, I have both.
Nice. So you combine the two and cook fish with your hands. It's awesome.
Can you make a dex check for me?
Dex check.
Would I by any chance have advantage?
I think you can add your proficiency because this is specifically to do with butchering and serving the fish. And you have your cook's tools.
Right. Okay.
Oh, I need to read cook's tools real quick, or how does that work?
You can just add your proficiency to things that have to do with using the cook's tools.
Okay. And what's the proficiency that I'm adding?
That'll be +3.
Okay, so 10.
You could probably gain advantage if one of the party members were to aid you in cooking, be your sous chef, essentially.
Definitely.
Okay. Would anybody see me struggling with the heat a little bit and want to help out?
Now, I can't cook fish with my hands, but Wolfram can butcher an animal. He was probably about to start butchering the fish before you asked for them.
Okay, he could. So let's say Guizo asks for the fish, and then Wolfram could say something along the lines of "I can do it if you want me to help."
I think Wolfram kind of looks at him side-eyed a little bit, and then just for a second it looks like he's not going to give him the fish, and then he just kind of swings his arm over for Guizo to take. He says, "You'll know how to do this, yes."
Sorry, I can't find his voice right now.
That's
So he kind of looks at Wolfram and he goes,
"Come on now."
"Yeah, I'm pretty confident in chopping and cooking up fish. Would
Biscuit,
you
enough.
want to help?"
Wolfram just kind of nods. He gives you a completely blank stare and nods. Just one singular millimeter of dip.
Sorry, our
I
dog
would
is
look.
freaking out. He had to use the bathroom, so I opened the door, and he's losing his mind. I'll be right back in just 1 second.
Poor baby. Yeah, Wolfram will come over and help. So roll with advantage because
Biscuit,
Wolfram
get
is
in here.
helping you by he's preparing the fillet so you can focus entirely on cooking and seasoning and all the other good stuff.
That's a 24.
Hell yeah, that's some good food. Wolfram takes out his what would be a good knife to use for this? There's a paring knife.
A paring knife would be okay so long as it's sharp enough.
Let's see, what's the weapon that all fucking Vikings wield? A skewer. It's like a small dagger.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
He probably just pulls out an incredibly well-honed one of those.
Yeah.
Wolfram spends a lot of time on his equipment, and it just like pulls it out and just like effortlessly passing through these fish. But yes, please tell me how great this fucking food is.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody have anything to season the fish with?
I mean, we're on a ship. They've probably got a number of spices and
Definitely, I would feel like they would have a bunch of different salts just for food preservation because
Oh,
they don't know how long they would be on the sea.
I mean, for sure we would have salt.
Yeah.
I think you could pretty reasonably say that there are access to spices.
Okay, sorry about that. So Weasel, with a 24, you can describe how you do it, and it's full on hibachi chef.
One sec, catching a bird.
I thought we were catching fish.
He's got to give give Raina something to light with.
Okay, so
I'm never not gonna let that go.
as
Please don't.
finishes like cutting the fish, he kind of tosses it over, and Guizo catches it like underhand. He like sticks his hand under his leg and catches it, and like flips it to evenly cook it. And he's singing a little tune as he does it. He lays all of the cooked pieces out, and he kind of throws like the salts and the spices that he finds into the air, so it lands on all of the fish evenly. And he decks them up on plates and kind of slides them across the table to you guys.
Wolfram tries some. Very good.
Smiles at you.
And it is. And the performance is crazy. Like, it's great. Guizo is doing all of these, like, you know, bartender maneuvers almost with the fish, and it's a good show. Like, it's, you haven't seen anybody cook like this for you. Raina might have, but that's probably not. Anybody from Elton has not seen this type of, like, food performance.
Yeah, Driven says no words. He just eats.
And it's
Wolfram?
good, too. It's perfectly cooked.
Every couple of bites, Wolfram just kind of nods.
And I want his cooking with the seasoning. Compare it to like Indian food, where just like everything is spicy and delicious.
Wolfram is used to eating mostly unseasoned meat, so this is probably quite a treat for him.
This is a flavor blast.
Yeah, I think Wolfram has to take a moment about halfway through. It's like so much flavor. Cannot handle it.
I imagine
Would you like me to make you a
Wolfram.
drink to wash it down.
Yes, Wolfram will take a drink. What do you give him?
What do we have below deck? Oh, you know what? Let me look at the list real quick.
Oh, actually, on board, it's probably just what Wolfram bought, and rum, just rum.
Is it rum? I bought rum. It was a half one.
What you bought, and then there's also rum aboard, just because, you know.
Right. Of course. You got to keep the.
One of the easiest things to make on board a ship is rum.
Right, it was double pipe ginger. So
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. Whiskey for Wolfram. That makes sense.
Okay, so I would like to go below deck to grab some rum, and I'm looking. I have chill touch. Is that technically something that I could use to cool down the cup, even though it's like a ghost hand?
It's you'd probably be better off using prestidigitation for that. Chill touch is necrotic.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
weird. I don't know why they. Well, I guess they gave it the name Chill Touch because it's like a chill goes down your spine. But
No, you're good. Okay, as long as that one is something that I could do to cool down a drink, I would like to give you a very nice draft beer on the rocks.
Okay.
But it's wrong.
and it's nice and frosty.
Wolfram drinks it in one gulp, or one long sort of. What do you call that? Not shotgunning, but he tips it back, and by the time he
Chugs it.
run back, it's gone. Yeah.
Can you please have like a little like frothy mustache?
Oh yeah, his regular mustache is has a froth over it.
Beautiful. I love it.
I don't know if this is the appropriate time. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it during the fishing or over dinner, but Wolfram kind of wants to ask Raina about her homeland. Yeah, I think kind of while we're eating, maybe while Guizo's going to get the draft beer, Wolfram asks Raina,
Yes.
"Can you tell me of your homeland?"
What would you like to know?
I know very little of this place. Anything would be nice.
Well, when we get there, we are going to come across a series of different cities where you can find all different kinds of teachers and people that work for something called the Name Foundation that we will find more out about later. This foundation pretty much runs our continent to help out in different areas.
Is it okay? You sure?
It is cold like Eldra.
It's kind of more pretty normal, honestly. Not really cold, not really hot. It's a lot of exploring. So we do a lot of exploring all over the place. So it's kind of in the middle.
At the mention of saying normal, Wolfram takes that as it is cold like Eldra and kind of nods knowingly.
Raina, you would know that it's like the way that you would describe it is that it's mostly like plains and jungles. There's a desert in the south, and other than that, there's the occasional like swampiness, but for the most part, it's kind of plains and jungles.
I am glad to have you as a guide here.
I'm very excited for you guys to find, to come to my home.
Are there good animals to eat?
Yes.
Raina, yeah, there's a lot more variety than there was in Eldra. In Eldra, it was mostly like hardy, like cattle, like beef, oxen, that kind of thing. The occasional fowl, but in Lagara, there's a lot more wildlife than the not a lot makes its home in the tundra. A lot makes its home in the plains and jungles.
Mostly I'm just bringing this up because I want to know if Wolfram is going to accidentally eat somebody's pet.
I don't think it would be out of the norm to see somebody with like a fox as a pet.
Tibetan sand fox. No.
Thank you, Raina.
All I ask from everybody is that you please listen to my story and don't judge too quickly.
There is not one among us who is sinless. I I would not judge you.
I won't judge you.
I don't think we're the right ones to judge anybody.
Wolfram nods to this and drink. And can we just say there's a second stein of beer, and Wolfram starts drinking that?
Oh, of course.
Definitely.
The crew is very excited to have somebody who can at will chill their drinks, because this is not like when you're on a ship that travels for good, and collects goods, basically an import-export ship. In this day and age, all you have to drink is like water and rum, and it's usually room temperature. Like, you know, there's not a lot of cold, frosty, nice, refreshing drinks. And
You can't exactly transport ice. Though I will say there's probably people that have access to some form of magic, right?
Yes, but not aboard this ship. This is all a magicless crew.
Question.
I might have an answer.
Does the crew tip me?
Ooh.
I won't ask. Guizo would not ask. I'm just wondering if they would want to pay me for, like, the food and drink.
I don't think they do, because part of the
Deal.
deal was an understanding that you guys would kind of like keep your own on the ship. Hold on, he is back outside losing his fucking
I got
mind
it.
again. You got it?
Go ahead.
Okay. Part of the deal is that, you know, you guys would basically get free travel as long as you helped out around the ship, and I think, you know,
did
this
our
night
part.
of cooking is, yeah.
Inside now.
This night of catching your own food and enough food to feed the crew, which I think between the four of you, yeah, you definitely caught enough to feed the crew as well. This definitely is a big token in your favor, you know. This saves you a couple of nights of swabbing the deck, you know.
Okay, that's all I was wondering. Was like,
Could we make money?
I just gave y'all 1,400 gold.
Yeah.
yeah, I
We're
know.
rich right now.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Tips
Right.
do not have to be in cash.
The one thing you learn as a DM is that doesn't matter how much they just got, you gotta ask. The players gotta ask. It's their
yeah,
due
no.
diligence.
No, I'm not mad at it or anything. I'm just like, it's funny that I just gave you guys a bunch of loot, and the first question that's asked is, "Do I get a tip?" I just thought that was funny.
I mean, yeah. It's I don't know. It's just yeah. We are very grateful. It's just that is just how you play the game. You gotta ask.
Oh yeah.
Tip doesn't have to be financial.
Actually,
Can I? Oh, sorry. You're doing something. Go ahead.
go ahead. I gotta find something.
Okay. Can we just say that we've been on the ship for, I don't know, a couple weeks now, and the crew has started noticing some weird stuff around the ship.
Definitely.
There are just like places on the ship where, you know how there's like the wooden sort of knobs that come up on like the deck and like, the railing and stuff like that. Well, they keep finding these scratches like in the side of doors on the deck of the ship, under deck, and ropes suspiciously cut through, and like missing heads to like railing and stuff like that. Just seems to have been cut clean off, or like just has big gouges in it.
And it is always like very clean cuts too. It doesn't look like. It looks like almost as if the material were made of Play-Doh and someone sectioned it out with a scalpel. It's very clean cuts.
Yeah, looks like it was sawed. Yeah, they just keep finding that. Where the hell is this coming from?
Guizo, the first mate, Mary Reed, this very lithe, redheaded right-hand man to Gregor, she does actually approach you afterwards that night, and she offers you, kind of, almost in secret, but not like really. It's like it's not a big deal if people find out about this, but I don't want them to. She offers you a little, pulls open a little satchel. It looks like it could probably hold about like 12 ounces of whatever. It's like a small coin purse. And from it, she pulls forth this, like, you would recognize it as a jelly bean. And she offers you a handful of them.
Ooh.
And she says, "That was quite the performance. Thank you. We don't get that often, and trust me, we all appreciate the cold drinks." She's got a little bit of a flush to her cheeks.
No.
Thank you so much. It's very generous of you. And I would like to take a small handful, not the whole amount.
Yeah. They you can probably get, like, if they're jelly bean size, like up to 10 or 12 of them, and they're fruity flavors. Some of them are more licoricey, but they're nice. They're sweet little. You haven't had anything like this before.
Awesome. I would like to shake her hand. That just seems like something that he'd do. I don't know.
I mean, you can do so. I think she would be stunned, not really know how to react to it.
Now, do you shake it or do you kiss it? What's going on here?
Right now.
Well, no, not kiss. When they shake, he bows, but not like he doesn't kiss.
These little
Kind of
gentlemen.
a respectful gratitude type thing.
Right.
I like it. You notice she does actually blush a little bit. She seems to have an affection towards you. She likes you.
When he bows, I use prestidigit to make little fireworks come out behind me.
Hell yeah.
Ever the showman. I love it.
Leave it to the Italian.
So we can push forward if you guys are ready to at any point. I just don't want to pull you out of your downtime until you're ready to.
My only question is it everybody gotten their downtime training down?
Yeah, I'm good.
Raina?
Yeah, I'm good.
I think the only thing left that we had was Driven wanted to do something with Wolfram.
Yes.
Yeah. I was wondering, would they have training equipment, like, solid wooden swords or anything on the ship?
I don't think so. This is more a commerce type ship.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so this will be more of a hand-to-hand thing then.
Alright, I mean, let's see.
I'm sure you could have, like, mop handles as quarterstaffs,
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Mm.
I wonder who initiates. I feel like Wolfram wouldn't have the attitude to initiate such a thing. It'd be more Griffin.
Not particularly. I don't think he's looking to fight any of his allies, but if Griffin came to him and was like, hey, I want to keep my skills sharp, Wolfram would entirely understand that.
Yeah, I think that's how we're going to approach this. Griffin walks up to Wolfram with 2 mop handles and tosses him one and says, "Let's train, big guy."
Yes, keep your skills sharp, brother. And yeah, he'll let's do it. Yeah. Wolfram catches the mop handle when you throw it to him and spins it in his hand.
This is about to be badass.
I'm so excited.
All right.
Wolfram stands up and removes the wolf cloak.
Oh my god.
You can visibly see a difference in the tanness of his skin based off of that. Yeah, he'll set down his wolf cloak and his sword.
So, just
go ahead.
some scene setting. Excuse me, sorry. What kind of what type of day And where do you, like, where aboard the ship do you initiate this?
Is there
So
a place on the high deck that we could do it?
There's
yeah, I was
definitely enough
thinking.
room, yeah.
I kind of like the idea that we initiate it and it's like clear, but like it ends up going a little hard, and as it starts to go hard, a storm blows in out of nowhere.
Yeah. So I have a way that I want to do this that I think will be fun, but you guys don't necessarily have to do it in a chunky statistic way. You guys can just roleplay out the how you want it to go.
Yes, please. Jerfin, why don't you go first? By the way, do you wear your armor?
No, I'm gonna take it off.
I think Wolf
At
will
least,
stop you when you start unbuckling it, and he'll be like, "You should keep it on."
you know, Griffin thinks about it.
Wolfram
Griffin
wraps a
thinks about it.
knuckle against your chest plate, and it kind of goes ding, 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 and then he wraps a knuckle against his, broad, muscular chest, and it makes a thump sound. Thunk, thunk, thunk. You should keep it on.
Griffin thinks to himself, and he's like, you're right. If I'm gonna train, I might as well train with all the weight on.
This is smart.
All right. So how shall we do?
I don't know, man. Tell me what you want to do.
I think Griffin's gonna wield this kind of like a staff, so it's gonna be twirled around in very flashy fashion, trying
Okay.
to keep it distant, but jump in when necessary.
Do we want to like draw like a circle and chalk on the high deck, or do we want to just go kind of freeform?
I think freeform. I don't really want a limitation.
Okay. The circle is kind of just to keep everything fair, and if things go too hard, we break out of it.
Okay.
It's all in sparring, in my opinion. I don't know. It's always better to have
I'm okay with that. That's fair. Yeah.
something like that. Well, that's the thing is I don't want to treat it like a real fight, like we're trying to hurt each other. We're just trying to like test each other's skills, keep sharp.
Know when to stop.
Know when to stop, exactly. I think laying some ground rules would probably be good, but we probably don't
Yeah.
even need to say them because we both are like fighters and we understand what the ground rules would be.
So Griffin twirls the mop handle around, looks at Wolfram and says, "Some of my safe words keep going."
Very odd. But I will keep this in mind. Wolfram takes the mop handle in both hands like a long sword, and you just see him flex. You just see like veins pop out all the way up his arms, and he cracks his neck.
So, how should we go about doing this? I'm not entirely sure how these things really work.
Just tell me what you want to do. If you want to make an opening sort of salvo move, just like we can just say we exchange some blows, or what we could do is you could say, well, I want to do this, roll some dice, and we just kind of use the result to describe how it goes.
Okay.
How about, let's see, if you're using dexterity and I'm fighting with strength, we could roll a strength attack and a dexterity attack as an opposed check and see how it goes. DM, is that
That's what I was going to propose.
okay? Our ACs are the same, so it doesn't matter. Huh?
Would that just be a D20 roll and add proficiency?
Proficiency in your dex.
Okay.
And let's say that if both of our attacks are under our ACs, or one of the attacks is under, we can just say, well, we don't really land a hit on each other.
Yeah. Well, considering we both have quarterstaffs, I feel like there's going to be a lot of clinking them together.
Yeah, we'll just say we meet in the middle, we parry, sort of.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, let's go for it.
God, I
All
gotta
right.
tell
So
you. Sorry, go ahead.
Griffin's going to try and run in with his first attack, but he's going to fake. The way he wants to do this is he wants to feint a staff attack to bait you out and go for a kick.
Wolfram falls for it. Yeah, he goes. You come in and feint for the attack, and you go in for the kick. He falls for it, but yeah, how does the kick go?
So it's you know so the way I want him to do it is so I'm gripping the staff at half staff, but I'm gonna run in and slide the staff to the end to get as much reach as possible, and kind of do a circular motion around the top of my head, kind of to whip it out at him, and then use the momentum of that to spin around with a back kick.
Okay, so you'd be completely avoiding his attack or trying to.
Yeah.
Okay, well go ahead and roll.
Oh, well, that's a nat 20.
Yeah, you fucking pull it off effortlessly. You get him, kick him in the ribs if you want or wherever.
I think the gut's where I'm going.
All right, yeah, you kick him in the abs, and Wolfram is kind of caught off guard because his shot goes wide, and your kick connects with his stomach, and yeah, you completely land the blow. What's your strength, by the way, out of curiosity?
Like my modifier, just the number, what?
Your score.
Strength is at an 8 with a -1.
Okay, you connect, and Wolfram kind of goes, but it doesn't appear to have hurt him.
I love it.
It probably hurt your leg a little bit.
See,
It hurt us both.
I'm not entirely sure how it works, but I imagine dexterity as kind of a strength of momentum, where strength is more just raw power.
Yeah.
Dexterity is strength of motion.
Right. A lot of it is dexterity is like how well you move your body. Like you got
Yeah.
it. It's just Wolfram is humongous and bulky.
Yeah, so it didn't really phase him that much. Yeah.
It you definitely land the blow. But have you ever seen what is it? Shit. I have the GIF right here.
Yeah, I love that one.
But yeah, it definitely like it knocks the air out of him a little bit. and-
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay. I like that.
Like he's for sure surprised. Like he thought he was going to just like hit you because he fell for your taunt, and you got a hit in on him. Which I mean,
Yeah.
the goal here was to practice landing, hits and fighting, and you definitely got
Yeah.
one up on him.
So after doing that, Griffin would kind of back away in waiting for Wolfram's response.
I'm gonna say you kick him in the ribs. Wolfram has made an overhead slash downward that you dodged out of the way of. I think he's gonna reverse into a backhanded slash outward to try to hit you before you get away. So I guess make like a dex attack to get away while I try to make an attack to hit you.
Yes.
All right. So that would be just a flat dex check.
Or maybe a saving throw if you want. I don't care if you want to add some stuff to it.
Yeah, you
This
can
is
do either. Whatever's better because
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with an acrobatics check because I want this to be flashy.
Yeah.
So that was a 14 plus 3.
17?
Yep, 17.
Well, you try to dodge away after landing the kick off Wolfram. You try to catapult yourself off of him using the kicking off of, his stomach. And Wolfram just reverses from a downward slash into a backhand. I rolled a 17 on the dice.
Me to beat.
And he fucking nails you in the chest and probably sends you spiraling backwards, but you catch yourself with your really good, your check was so good that like he hits you in the breastplate, you tumble over backwards and catch yourself on your feet, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, like it looks really badass. Like he hit you, but you fucking caught yourself perfectly. Like.
All right. So next attack will be Griffin lands, kind of catches himself, slides backward after taking such a hit, and Griffin's gonna run in and go for a kind of a pole vault kick with the mop handle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And see if that will land.
Okay. Are you trying to trick Wolfram again?
No, this is not going to be a trick again. This is just going to be a straight up attack.
Okay.
Like you know how you know what a pole vault looks like, and then I'm
Yeah.
leaning into it with a forward kick.
Okay.
So that would be attack roll. So that would be 11.
11. Wolfram
Yeah.
sees this. He sees that you're coming in for another kick. He does a low sweep with his sword, like just an inch off of the ground, and sweeps your mop handle out from under you. A 14 plus 6, dirty 20, and causes you to fall back and have to catch yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, Wolfram seems to have a scary amount of defense in his radius.
Driffin, high or low?
High.
Okay. Continue. Nothing happens. Don't worry about it.
Okay. See, now I'm worried.
Don't worry about it.
I think one misunderstanding between Wolfram and Driffin is that Wolfram is just a big, powerful guy, but you're probably just now realizing that as long as it's within his range, Wolfram is a good swordsman.
Alright, so this will be your attack now.
No, I parried you, so feel free to come
Oh,
back.
so that's your move. Okay, got you.
Yeah, this is
Essentially
really
reaction.
flowing. We're just kind of fucking around, so feel
Yeah.
free to go again.
Alright. So, how do I want to do this next?
Wolfram kind of lines his sword up in a sideways stance, and you're kind of like trying to figure out where his opening is.
Mm-hmm. I'm sitting, Driffin's sitting there twirling the staff around,
Ooh.
trying to.
Are you doing that thing where you're slowly kind of walking around him by sidestepping?
Yes.
That's so cool. Yeah, you're kind of circling him. Wolfram is slowly turning.
Trying to get a read on him, see where the opening is. So,
Actually, even better, Wolfram isn't turning. He's just following you with his eyes.
oh, could you describe exactly Wolfram's stance from feet to head?
Let's see.
His positioning, I want to.
Standing with his side to you, kind of, sword in both hands, left hand up, and he's, facing forward, sideways, chest out, and, just has his sword out in front of him in a two-handed hold.
He has essentially what I'm looking for. He has a forward knee in his stance.
Yes, like basically a boxing stance. You know boxing?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I know boxing. Okay, so I want to baseline just attack that forward knee. That's your center of gravity.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try and knock you down with a spinning sweep and I'm gonna try and hit the back of your forward knee.
Okay. But I will say that if this doesn't work, Wolfram's just going to shift his weight onto his other leg, which is kind of the point of this kind of stance.
That's I understand.
He doesn't
risk,
have the
reward
attacking
type
power
thing.
that way, but
Yeah. We'll see if it works.
yeah, go for it. Roll a Dex attack.
So that's 18.
18's really good. Let's see if Wolfram can roll to resist it. DM, what do you think would be fair to resist this with? Because I'm not attacking. I'm just trying to like shift my balance to avoid getting knocked over. Is that like a strength check? Strength save?
Or a saving throw? I feel like that'd be a strength save.
Yeah, I could see either a hell, I could even see like a con save because it's about like shifting your center of gravity and accepting the damage in a way that's not too damaging.
So either a strength save or a con save?
Yeah, whichever one you feel is you would be more appropriate in. If it was like, I think if Wolfram is more trying to absorb the damage in an appropriate way as to minimize it, then con, or if he's just trying to brace, then it would be strength.
I think specifically what he's doing is he sees what he's doing because he has a stance that he's going to put his force behind it if he comes in for an attack. But if Driffin is able to trick him into, trying to go in for a forward attack, then his tactic will work. But if Wolfram figures out what he's doing and shifts his weight to his back leg, it probably won't work.
Yeah.
So let's say either an acrobatics or a strength.
Yeah, based on the description, I think strength is the most appropriate.
All right.
Yeah.
This is important. Is it a saving throw or is it just a check?
I would say a saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
11 plus 6. 17?
What was your...
I rolled an 8. Mine was an 18.
There you go. You do it. Wolfram's
All
not
right.
able to... Wolfram sees you coming and thinks that he can just bat you aside again, so he actually moves his weight forward in for an attack to parry you, and you're able to get underneath him and sweep him. How do you do it?
So I run in, and again, I was holding the staff at half, having twirled it around. And I run in and kind of almost, position myself in such a way that I slide, but I don't really slide. I kind of just take a really low, wide step and sweep the staff under your leg.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Wolfram completely whiffs his attack because he was going for like a middle of like mid-range full horizontal sweep, and you just kind of like dodge under it and knock his leg out from under him. And yeah, Wolfram goes down.
So what does Wolfram do?
Honestly, that was 3 rounds. We can just say that like we keep fighting in cool ways, but I don't want to take up too much of the session.
Yeah,
maybe
that's fair.
Maybe we just end it with Wolfram's on the ground, and maybe Hugh Sportsman like help him up, and you kind of have a laugh over it.
Griffin offers him his hand and tries to help him up to no avail because he's like 3 times his size.
Yeah, but he can do most of the work. It's the character that matters. You guys just have a nice moment there, and we just keep sparring into the end of the day for a little bit. Was that satisfactory, my friend?
That was nice. I like that.
Hell yeah!
All right.
So
Griffin is now ready to move on, DM.
Growing respect for each other's abilities, I feel like.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. So, not really a whole lot goes on. It's just your typical sailing, you go through a small storm, but eventually, as the beginning of the 3rd week comes into, aboard the ship comes into play, you start to see, land on the horizon. And, over the course of the next week, preparations begin. The deckhands are the big guys, whose names are, damn it, I just had it.
Rod and Todd.
And Tish.
Rub and tug.
Rub and tug.
Oh, I love Rub and Tug. That is good. Hans and Franz, Biggs and Wedge.
Frank Drake and Chuck Vane are their names.
Hell yeah. Those sound like porn names.
For real.
They
got the mustache.
Behind the DM screen a little bit, they're names of historical pirates.
Sorry, I'm dropping memes.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So you begin to drift closer and closer to Helm's Keep, the place that you're heading to. Again, you have your map. That Brody gave you, which I have in the I put in the resources. Yeah, the continent of Lagara. Y'all are going to be landing in Helm's Keep, and the days drift by. More things are moved up aboard so that when they get there, they can offload their stuff that they need to offload, and eventually, the day comes and the last few hours wind down as you're drifting closer and closer to the docks, and
This doesn't matter a ton, and technically she already has it. But can we say that Wolfram and Reyna still spend a small amount of time, couple times a week, working out together?
yeah, of course. Yeah, that's
If-
perfectly fine.
Reyna would love to keep her strength up, so yes.
Just have like, ooh, maybe every morning we're both up early because you're an elf and I'm a weirdo,
Yeah.
and we just have like morning calisthenics.
I love it.
You're awesome. I love how that happened.
Sorry to interrupt, DM.
No, you're good. Give me time to find things that I need to find. A basic overworld. We're gonna have a tighter map, but I just uploaded a bit of an overworld kind of thing. From a distance, that's about what it looks like. And I know that map's a little rough, but you eventually do land in Helm's-Keep, and as you do, the deck that you land on as soon as the crew begins to go about their stuff and do their thing, it's a flurry of action. You guys are basically just shuffled off the ship. Gregor, he does his best to say goodbye and everything, but it's a flurry of motion. People are coming onto the ship, offloading stuff. The crew hands Chuck and Frank are running back and forth, with giant crates, 300-400 pound crates that you would imagine it looks like. It's probably not, but just these giant crates full of various goods that have a cartoon Acme stamp on the side.
Hell yeah, they do.
And really all that's left is for you guys to head down the docks. There are these docks are kind of a T-shape with another bar in the middle that leads directly down into a set of gates, like small fence-like gates, that open up into the city. Standing at the gates are two people in an official type of, it looks very official kind of uniform-ish. It's very nicely put together and stuff, and sorry, got to do ambiance stuff. You hear chickens, cattle, everything. You hear all the noises of a busy city pouring out from the gate as, people walk 10, 15 cows tied together through the gate and talk to the two official looking people, and people are buzzed through and, all this good stuff. Until eventually it is your turn, and this line that you have ended up in, because you weren't given much of a choice as a group, you were kind of shuffled along. It's a crazy amount of action going on. Way much more than anybody save Reyna has seen in one of these type of, docks. And the tall, sandy blonde, very average looking half-elf man standing there with a scroll, jotting things down and going back and forth to different scrolls. He, without even looking up, name and business.
Wolfram looks to Reyna.
Reyna, we would like to come into Helm's-Keep, please.
Reyna, what? What's your business in Helm's-Keep?
Reyna Weinstock, and I would like to see the name
He
of
cuts
Foundation.
you off.
He cuts you off. He looks up with wide eyes, and he he pulls a square, a couple of inches by a couple of inches square stone out of his pocket and whispers into it. A couple of seconds go past. A couple more seconds. He nods his head. He whispers into it a little bit more. All right. You be on your way. He's waiting for you in the office.
Thank you.
Right. Just make sure you go there first thing.
Will do. Just follow me, guys. I know exactly where we're going.
I follow your lead.
Guizo bows as they walk by the door.
The guard kind of gives Guizo a weird look, like he's not used to that kind of thing. Guizo, it's normal to do that type of greeting where you are from, but he just looks at you as if you were like, you hit on his girlfriend, you know? Like,
Guizo is
go ahead.
Guizo's just such a nice, respectful young man. I like him.
Yeah. Well, he's just so confused. It's just not the cultural norm here.
Of course.
And as you guys go into the city, I have a map of the city proper. It is massive. You will be entering from the bottom of the map that I just uploaded. And for reference, the walls, the posts on the walls are about 5 feet wide.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
Did you make that?
Yeah,
That's incredible, dude. Good job.
thank you.
Ooh.
Directly in front of you stands this massive building, and there's a small billboard out front that has the the acronym NAME with periods in between each letters, and then there's a bunch of smaller text that you can't make out from this distance because this city is pretty fucking huge. And as you weave through, people are, shouting, Bucks, newest and best, like all of their typical, shilling their product type of stuff. And the smells of meat cooking and leather being worked, and it's a little overwhelming actually because there's just so much going on.
I was gonna say. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say. I don't know if anybody notices, but like, in a Wolfram sort of way, Wolfram is visibly uncomfortable, but like only in a Wolfram sort of way. So only people that know him would notice.
He's still stone-faced.
Yeah, he's still stone-faced, but he's looking around a lot. He's kind of got closed body language, and he keeps reaching towards his sword.
I feel like, unfortunately, I feel like Raina would normally pick up on this, but I think because of what's about to happen or what she's scared of about to happen, she probably doesn't pick up on it like she normally does. Like, I feel like she's very front-facing, determined to get where she needs to go kind of thing.
Wolfram is trying to keep up, and Wolfram is understandably, justifiably distracted, so completely understandable.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you. So, as Raina is leading you towards this massive building, and it's huge. It's easily 6 or 7 times the these little buildings around here, nearby this southern entrance, this southern gate, are like, imagine your average like single floor sized homes. Just to give you an idea of scale, This massive blue building towards the top.
I think you're.
Wow. I'm wondering why it was so quiet. Not sure what's going on.
I was muted accidentally. My bad.
Oh, sorry, I didn't think to tell you.
No.
I literally
was sitting there for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I can hear them, but I don't know if they can.
Yeah. So, for an idea of scale, these smaller buildings nearest the southern entrance of the docks that you just walked into are like your average single-floor homes, and this huge blue building with more connected blue buildings, and this greenish, the huge building at the top, the biggest one, is the one that has the, name... script on the billboard in front of it and smaller script, and this is obviously where Raina is leading you. I mean, it takes probably a good 45-minute walk across the city to get there. But once you do, you see that there is kind of a below the words name on this like miniature billboard, this like sign. It's probably about like 8 feet by 4 feet, and it says Name Foundation on the front, on the top, and then it has a list of names with descriptions of where these people are in the building. And I had this little list that I uploaded to general chat, but I will read it all for you. And this is literally just a list of names, so I apologize if it gets kind of funky. But it starts with Astrid Larson, first floor, room 100. Hanson Anderson, first floor, room 104. Irkir Thorfald, first floor, room 107. Bjorn Halfan, second floor, room 203. Svein Johansson, second floor, room 205. Helga Olsen, second floor, room 212. Julius Monteb, third floor, room 300. Trevor Monteb, third floor, room 301. Belvin Scartooth, fourth floor. That concludes the list. As Raina leads you up these steps, the noise begins to die down a bit as you enter this small, like, you know how there's the area behind the columns before you enter the door at like courthouses and stuff?
The lobby.
Yeah, imagine that. And Raina leads you directly into the door. There's not actually a whole lot of commotion going on up here. It becomes more akin to a library than a busy city, you know?
Wolfram breathes out and visibly relaxes.
As you guys enter, you see what is, you know, essentially a lobby. It's probably like a 200-foot by 60-foot room, kind of this rectangular shape. There are, on one end, there's what seems to be like an open stall set into the wall where people are going up almost cafeteria style, getting a meal, and then coming and sitting down at these benches. And there's not a lot of people in here. There's maybe 10 people in here, spread out all throughout, so it looks pretty empty. And directly in front of you, about 30 feet in front of you, begins this U-shaped counter that leads into the wall, the farthest wall, which kind of has an opening, and sitting at it are about 6 or 7 women. They're coming and going. They seem to have kind of like a secretarial, you know, air about them. They're filling out paperwork. They're talking to people as they come up and go. You even see one talk to someone, go back, and comes back with a book and hands them the book, and then signs them out. And Raina, you would know that this is where you need to go to be directed to the person that you were told to go to.
I will walk up to the desk and speak to one of them. Just the first one that kind of catches my eye.
So there's this kind of strawberry blonde, almost like, she has the look of like a country gal about her, and because she's got this like kind of pale yellow straw-colored bonnet tying her hair back, and she's got a very just plain dress on. She's a very pretty girl. She's just wearing very, plain clothes. And she looks up at you and she goes, "How can I help you today, doll?"
I'm Raina Weinstock. I was told to come straight here.
Raina Weinstock, is that, I don't mean to be rude, is that supposed to mean something to me, honey?
The guys at the pier just called me here. I'm guessing they want me to go see Delvin.
It would be...
You're muted.
Could be who?
Sibo.
Sibo?
Yeah, it would be Sibo.
Okay.
I'm guessing they want me to see Sibo.
Oh, you're that gal. Hold on a second. Just real quick, he should be waiting for you in his office. Let me just send him a note, let him know that you're coming up. And she pulls another of these like square-shaped stones out and talks clearly into it. Mr. Sibo, we got Raina here for you.
Enter armed escort.
Actually, yeah. Shortly there afterwards, two men wielding spears come down these massive steps on either side of the room and march up to Raina, and they kind of nod at her like, you know the deal, let's go.
Wolfram steps forward and looks at Raina, basically like giving her the look, are you okay with going?
One second. Yes. That's the door from open.
Sorry, you guys, our back door just kind of randomly blew open and we were very confused.
It's so windy today. It's so
What
weird.
the heck?
So, should I ask them to let me bring them with me? Or should I just go?
Okay, guys, okay. We get it. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm okay, Wolfram. And I'll look up at the guards and be like, hey, do you mind if my group comes with me?
One of them shrugs, but like, you know, it doesn't matter to him. You know, it's whatever. he just motions his head again to say like, you know, let's go, let's get this over with.
Little does he know the only reason he's alive is because Raina said she's okay with going with him.
Sliced
Okay.
in half.
Okay, guys. I get it. I'll walk in front of you. Don't worry. So I will start heading up the steps.
Okay, so you head up these steps, and oh god, did I not save it? Oh no, I did. Okay. You head up these steps, and you're led through many various, like hallways, large rooms. It's very confusing. It almost feels like you would think that it was designed confusing, and you get the vibe that this is kind of like a college campus type deal. And you eventually are led to this very opulent office where sitting behind a desk is this halfling man. Or no, he is a gnome, Jesus Christ. Yes, he is a gnome man, and he looks like a niece. If I can character info for this. And as you guys enter the room,
Oh,
go ahead.
shit. I've been meaning to ask something for a while. Can you pin all of the player character, like main photos in the character info photos? It doesn't have to be right now. I just mean like at some point, because you know we get a lot of characters, and I just want to have to remind myself what people look like sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, can do. I will actually set a reminder to do that.
And like sometimes I'll dig through them so I can repost them as like a reminder or something. But anyway.
Yeah. So this very snazzily dressed man steps out from behind his desk. He doesn't say anything as you all walk in. And he looks up and kind of nods at the two guardsmen who quickly leave the room, closing the double doors behind them. And he says, Raina, it's good to see you. It's been a couple of years. What'd you bring me?
Oh no.
Can my
Has Wolfram been lured into this trap as some sort of King Kong situation?
Can my first question be to him, like, are the guards really mandatory?
Ask what you want to ask him, baby.
Hi, Sibo. Are the guards still really necessary? Like, come on, man.
Well, you know, we both know your history here, so yes, they're necessary.
It happened one time, and I still don't know what happened exactly, but that's fine. Okay. I have a map of some new territory, that I thought you might like.
He walks up. He's very excitedly moves towards Raina. Well, let's see it then, and kind of does grabby hands.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, I would hand him the map, from the parts that we explored that I feel like I would have made this map, technically, right?
Yeah, that's reasonable to say so.
Okay. I made the map of kind of the area that we searched and did our thing to clear out that tower. So I will hand that over to him and let him know that we found some land that was cursed and such.
What do you mean cursed land? Also, how does this help us here? Like, what am I supposed to put in the museum? This map? I mean, we know where Eldra is. We just haven't been there, you know? Like, well, at least in a very long time. To explore. Eldra is very closed about their ruins and stuff. You know this. I need something that I can sell, Raina.
This is something you can sell, Sibo. Jesus, we fought things that were not of this plane of existence. Do you get what I'm saying?
I mean, to be honest with you, not really, but it doesn't. Stories don't do me much good. I need artifacts. I need things that people can read. I need things that people can look at. I need things that sell museum tickets. I need things that attract people. Any interaction from the rest of the party while this is going on?
Wolfram is watching this interaction from across the room, kind of out of the side of his eye as he drinks from a flask.
Griffin's keeping his eyes shifted between the guard.
I will say that you did collect some books.
I think Weezer would be looking at the guards too.
From Connor's Towers.
Fine, fine. Here, Sibo, take these books.
Books? We have books.
Sibo, take them and look at them, please.
He takes one from you as you pull it out of your pack, and he flips it open. I don't really see what language is this?
Yeah, exactly, Sibo. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I appreciate this fine. He pulls a monocle out of his pocket and begins to, read the script as much as he can. And he is poring over this. And he he goes, go turn the rest in with Sophie. I'll figure this out. I'll figure this out as we go. Just whatever. Your room's waiting for you. And he waves you off.
Wait, Sibo, what kind of room are we getting? I have more than one person right now.
Well, your contract says you get a room for you. If you get married, you can get a room bigger, but not by much.
I imagine his eyes just kind of go over to the three companions, and he like, are you married to one of these fuckers? The dirty hairy man, the demon boy, or the 15-year-old who's on fire?
Actually, he does address that. He looks over and he goes, "Oh, I'm actually surprised you take up with a new crew."
Sibo, this is my first time having a crew in 2 years. Can you please give me enough space? Regardless of what my contract says.
I'm just worried about you giving them 6 feet of space. Whatever. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks a lot, Sibo. We'll see you later.
He waves his hand as he's like already halfway through this book, and the guards open the doors again and kind of motion for you to leave.
So we will head out to one of our little house apartment things.
Yes. So you see.
All the birdies. Sorry.
Yeah. You see on this map the kind of square towers with the blue roofs immediately to the right of the name foundation. There is, those are all basically dormitories. Raina, you have the key to your room. Essentially your room is like, excuse me, Wolfram, you would know this. It's very equivalent to the duplex that you and I lived in for a while.
Yeah. Oh, that much of a dump?
I was gonna say it's livable, but it's definitely not the best thing in town, you know.
Somebody sitting on their horse outside while blasting music from a lute. I don't know. D&D.
My place used to be better, guys. I'm sorry.
As you open the door, you walk in, and it's clear that they haven't cleaned this place in, like, well, the better part of 2 years. There's dust everywhere, and, you know, it's your place, but it's,
Sister, must we sleep in this city?
We don't have to necessarily. I'll be expected to be back here in a couple days to go over more books, or probably in the morning. But we can probably stay somewhere else.
Wolfram just grunts and nods.
So who the hell is that little man?
That is Sibo. He is the... Is chairman a good word for him?
yeah.
Okay.
His official title
Is headmaster?
Headmaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the headmaster of the Name Foundation. And he also used to be my boss. I guess you can say he still is, technically, but I've kind of been pushed out a little bit, as you can see.
Yeah, he's about the right height for the Master of Head. Sorry, could not help myself.
That was
I love it.
fucking beautiful. Oh my god.
Oh, that was funny.
I wish that would have been me that thought of that. Oh god.
I was
Very
debating
well
for a
done.
minute whether or not to say it.
Very well done.
That was incredible.
That was amazing.
Well, I'll say you get the impression from him that he is a, well, for lack of better word, I'm going to use a word that triggers a lot of people, but you know, whatever. He's a self-righteous little cunt. Like, you know, he thinks very highly of himself.
See that?
He
Remember, it's not vulgar if you're saying it on Australian
or Scottish.
or Scottish.
No, you've done your thing. You can do whatever.
It's always
you
an easy
can
one.
call
I feel like they get them and Scots Irish. Either way, they get the pass for it. Australians get the pass. British is I feel like is kind of questionable sometimes.
Yeah, if you're saying it in an Australian accent, it's essentially the equivalent of saying the. I'm just making a joke here, guys. I'm sorry, we can move on.
No, you're fine. I'm literally like talking over with the DM the best train of action of where we can stay.
Gotcha. Hey, 100% we can stay at Raina's apartment. I just think I want to play into the fact that Wolfram is uncomfortable in cities.
No, I'm completely understandable about that. I feel like Raina doesn't like the fact that her apartment has not been touched in a couple years anyway, and she would prefer probably not to stay in it as well.
Should we burn it down?
Roll to fight a giant spider.
Oh hell no.
It's his house now.
Well, you can look into anything. There's definitely inns all around the city.
Let me look at the map.
I say we go hunting around the city. We should have some kind of like little inn that we can stay in. If you guys don't want to stay in an inn, and I know Wolfram doesn't really like cities, we can always go out into the outskirts and stay in one of the jungles. It just might not be super pleasant.
Just to explain, we have this larger overworld map of Helm's Keep that's not quite the continent map. The cluster of the city is where you currently are, and then off over in these mountains that have the trees and stuff is more of a like a farming quarry type settlement. Raina, you would easily know that. Like, this is basic knowledge amongst people who live in Helm's Keep, and you lived in Helm's Keep for a couple of years.
So we can definitely go stay on the outskirts.
I will trust you, Sister Raina. Where you go, I go.
Okay, I think I'd start leading people to the outskirts, where the little farming areas are. I'm pretty sure I know at least some people there, or if there's an inn there, I would definitely know it.
There's probably one like Motel 6 type inn out there, like a very
Roach Motel, dingy.
yeah, exactly. In Helm's Keep there are some inns, and not you can stay wherever you want to stay, but just giving you the information, all the information. So these paler, greener, bluish, like medium-sized buildings to the left and center of the map, that's going to be like your like hotel district, and all along that thoroughfare is like shops and stuff. Yes. Correct.
Okay, I guess I'd lead somebody to an inn then. In the city probably, but kind of towards the, I mean, it's not necessarily in the middle of the city, so it's kind of on the outskirts. But not as much as the little farming areas are.
Yeah, well, these inns and stuff are intentionally set aside from the city because it's a big hustle bustle type of city. This is the where the headquarters of Name is. You know, like Name is a big foundation in Lagra. You know, it's essentially. Let me try and think of like a good analogy. I mean,
Yeah.
like it's equivalent to the White House. You know.
Gotcha.
I was thinking Buckingham Palace when I saw it.
I mean, yeah, that's a way more apt description, actually, yeah.
Holy shit.
So I would say we get to an inn pretty quickly then.
Cool. So unless you're looking for anything specific, you can find like a mid-level hotel type of inn. You know, you can smell some nice food scents coming from the kitchens back. There's a half-orc girl tending bar. She looks pretty young, maybe 16, 17. And she's just going crazy, going to town, taking orders and stuff. Cause like it's still a little busy, even though this is like on the edge of town. You get the vibe that there's a lot of people that travel to learn here. You know, different various trades and stuff like that.
Can I walk up to the bar and offer to help the bartender?
Yeah, sure. How would you go about that?
So he walks up and he kind of sits at the bar, and when she comes over to ask him for a drink, he looks at her and he goes, "Actually, I was wondering if maybe I could offer my services for you. You look like you are handling it very well, but I was just wondering, would you mind if I offer my help for you?"
She just kind of looks at you and goes a little slack-jawed. Simultaneously, she is filling a, a tankard from a keg and slides it across the bar to somebody who grabs it and wanders off to go play darts with his friends, you know, whatever. And she says, "I don't quite really know how to respond to that. I guess if you're looking for a job, you could talk to Pops in the back." And she points a thumb over her shoulder into the kitchen behind her, where there's the door is like curtained off.
All right, I would like to go back there.
Cool. So while back there, you see the first thing that you see is a spectral blue hand holding a skillet that is blazing hot as it flies across the kitchen back and forth. You actually have to duck to not get hit by it. And there's this tall, very tan elven man, kind of salt and pepper hair, just going to town. He is cooking like Gordon Ramsay on crack. Like, you know. But he's the only one back here. He's got his back turned towards you, cooking on a stovetop right now.
So, just for fun, I rolled a dexterity check for that pan that was flying by, and I got an 8+2.
So you managed to get out of the way of it, but it was one of those where you think it brushed your forehead and it feels a little. You think you might. It's gonna hurt tomorrow. It's gonna be very sore tomorrow, and you got like a very slight burn.
Remember, he's resistant to fire damage.
Right, I was just gonna say I got singed.
So instead, you don't get burned because you're resistant to fire damage.
Yes, you do feel the heat off of the pan as it barely scrubs past your brow.
Right. Okay, so I would like to clear my throat, and I would like to say, "Excuse me, sir." And when he turns around, I would like to bow. My name is Guizo, and I was just wondering if there's anything I could do to help you out.
Well, one thing you could do is clear out of my kitchen.
That'll do.
He nods and walks out.
Okay.
No resistance. Gotcha.
Anything I can do to help?
Did not expect that. He actually did it.
If you guys could see the third-person camera that's still floating in the kitchen, you'd see him go, "Huh," and shrug his shoulders and turn back around and go back to cooking.
So he goes back out to the bar, and he asks for a drink.
She looks at you and she's kind of like, you look, you know what, who am I to question? You got the coin, you can drink here." And yeah, she starts to fill up a tankard, and she looks over at you like meaningfully, like, "I want to see some coin."
Okay. How much do you think this would cost?
I mean, like, 2 gold could cover the whole party for the night, probably.
Yeah, if you're wondering, a cup of ale is 2 copper.
Ooh, jeez.
2
Out
copper?
of my own pocket, I would like to take out 4 gold.
Bruh.
Bruh.
That's a hell of a
And
tip.
while she hands me the drink, I want to put my hand on it at the same time as her and cool
Oh.
it down so that she can feel the cup getting colder. And I'm like, I am sorry that your father did not want my services.
They don't appear to be related. It doesn't matter. A mug of ale is 4 copper, my mistake.
Well, she said pops, so that's just what he's saying.
Gotcha.
It is her father
Oh.
though. When you pull out the 4 gold, she raises her eyebrows, and she goes, "Ah, that's just him. He's a bit of a grump. He's hard to get through to." To be honest with you, since Mom, well, that's complicated. He's never been the same.
May I ask you what his favorite drink is, and you can answer it by giving me a cup of it.
She shrugs, looks at the 4 gold again, bites a piece of it, and reaches under the counter and pulls out this like small cask of this cherry-colored kind of brandy, and pours like 2 fingers in a Scotch glass, and she hands it off and she goes, "Just be careful. He throws stuff when he's mad."
Thank you very much. One moment. And I'd like to go give it to him.
So you go back into the kitchen, and again, it's a mess. But at this point, things are flying around. He's using like a mage hand to cook stuff and flip stuff, and he's cutting vegetables. And he looks up and he goes, "What are you doing back here?"
Oh, sir, you look like you were doing such a good job. You deserve the reward. And he hands out the drink.
He does this kind of flourish with the knife where he's holding the blade underhanded style and between his last 2 fingers, and takes the glass from you and sniffs it, and he goes, where'd you get that?" As he's swirling the glass.
Oh, I went in. I asked it from the bar.
He stops his swirling and gives you a look. You wouldn't be trying to I don't know.
What is he trying to do? I'm kind of wondering what he's thinking he's trying to do.
Roll
he
for
literally
seduction.
wants to help out.
You're not sweet on my daughter, are you?
Oh, no, sir. Please do not get that impression. I just want to lend my services. You see, my family, we just love to give any way that we can, and I don't have that much, so I like to offer the services that I know. I know how to cook. I know how to pour drinks. I know how to cool them down, heat them up. I can do many things in the way of the culinary world.
So he cuts you off, and the mage hand tosses a frying pan at you. And he, as he turns back to his vegetable chopping, he goes, "Beef and pork fillets out to tables 4 and 6. Well seasoned beef. Burn one of the steaks. They fucking love it that way. I don't understand why."
Burned steak. Oh.
All right, I'll do it. Do you need me to roll anything?
No, I think this is your thing. I think this isn't, like, this is a kitchen setting. I don't think it's too hard to pull this off here. Just for fun, high or low?
It would be funny if he fucked up. No, wait.
Low.
You do knock over a pot full of stock. You manage to catch it in time to not spill a lot, but, there's at least like 3 or 4 cups full of stock on the floor.
Okay. Does Pops address it, or can I clean it up before he notices?
He doesn't say anything to you, but you doubt that he hasn't noticed.
Guizo, something cool you can do with your magic if you want to. Prestidigitation cleans can be used to clean things. It would be really cool if you used like fire magic to like flash clean it and this floor just sparkles or something.
I was just gonna say that almost like a glitter effect into the air, and it all dissipates.
I love it. That's beautiful. He actually takes notice of that, and he says, "Where you from, boy?" Again, he's constantly working while he's doing this. His hands are always busy.
I don't remember the name.
Your island actually doesn't have a name.
So it was a trick question.
Oh, you see, I come from an island.
Bit cagey about your past. That's fine. We all are. What brings you here?
Traveling with my new family, I kind of got adopted from these people recently. I was in a bit of a situation where I lost my parents, and I got helped out by my grandfather's wife, and these people now care for me.
He hesitates in stirring the stew pot that he's now over. As you say that, and he just nods and says, "I can relate." Well, anytime you need work here, just let me know. You eat for free tonight.
Oh, thank you so much for your generosity.
Yeah, you earned your keep.
Is there anything else that I can do for you before I go call it a night?
Have a drink for yourself. Hey, enjoy yourself. Take some time off. You worked hard tonight.
Thank you.
And don't think I didn't notice that little trick. That was nifty.
Oh, thank you. And he kind of rubs the back of his head and smiles.
It happens.
Just so you know, it can also be used to soil something. So if you ever decide you want to make something dirty.
Yeah, if you ever decide you want to shit someone else's pants.
Yeah. Well, it's when I think of you using like magic like that, my brain always goes to how would this work with like fire magic? And I think it would be kind of cool if you could just like cover something in soot.
Yeah.
I'm sure all your powers are not fire magic related, but that's where my head goes.
Right.
Well, I gotta tell you, I've been drinking on the sour apple moonshine. I think I drank a little bit too much.
I'm on my third drink.
Speaking of alcohol, Kane, I don't know how recently this happened, but they came out with a black cherry Kraken.
Oh.
Motherfucker!
I'm on my third herbal drink.
You're gonna be so healthy and revitalized. It's not even funny.
Well, by herbal, do you mean what I think you mean?
You're gonna be so relaxed. And hungry? I don't know how we works.
So yeah, unless anybody has anything that they want to do for the rest of the night, it goes pretty plainly, You have some food, you have some drinks, and then you can retire to a room upstairs. Each of you can get a room. It's not a big deal. Like I said, like 4 gold would cover you all drinking and eating as much as you want and a room for the night.
Hmm.
I have a thing that I'm going to do, but I need to, I want to let everybody finish for the night before I do it.
I don't think I have anything else. Oh, what about the thing that we talked about for the side quest?
Yes. There is actually an artisan. Let me find his name. As one of the people at the Name Foundation that you can talk to about that.
Well, see, the problem is narratively that Wolfram has not noticed because no one has addressed it. That's kind of what I'm looking for from the DM, is to like, I was expecting something to happen on the ship, but since nobody has addressed it, it's not going to bother Wolfram.
Yeah, I mean, we can do a minor flashback because that will definitely.
I mean, however you want to do it, but basically, like, Wolfram's not going to think of it.
So I think what we do is we flash back a little bit in time. It's about halfway through the first week when Gregor.
They start following the trail of destruction, trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Yes. Gregor pulls you aside one day and he goes, "Man, is everything okay? I just happened to notice that there's a lot of damage in your wake lately. Are you frustrated at us? Like, what can I do to not make you the big, angry, scary guy?"
Wolfram looks at him, like face completely blank. What do you mean?
Well, there's been like gouges out of the walls and doorways, and the head of one of the banister railings is just clean cut off.
Wolfram kind of like turns his head and bends his back and is like looking at his sword. And when he turns, he kind of like cuts a gouge out of like a wall next to him. Like, oh, I did not notice.
Yeah, if you could try and do something about that, that would be great. I just, there's only so many islands we can link to for repairs.
Yes, I will look into this. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Sorry about that.
It's just Wolfram like spending the next couple of however long we're on the ship, like trying different things. Like he tries to wrap it in cloth, but that doesn't work because it only lasts like half a day. He tries like, he tries wood, little slits of wood on the side of it, but those end up breaking. He just keeps trying things and it's not working by the time he gets to the island. It's like he's just kind of given up on trying to put something on the sword so that it stops cutting things.
I love it. So there is like in that directory, it is easy to see, like, there is a description beside their names, but I wanted to keep it brief for the chat's sake. But Hanson Anderson, the second name on the list, is a leatherworking and butchery specialist, and he kind of works for the Helm's Keep Name Foundation.
Okay. Then let's say that over dinner, while Guizo is helping out in the kitchen, Wolfram is having dinner with, I assume, at least Reyna. I don't know if Driffin is. We're all having meals together now or what, but
I think it would be okay.
yeah, let's all be friendly. Have dinner, have meals together. Wolfram is asking Reyna if she knows anyone who could help him with his problem.
You definitely would know Hanson Anderson.
Yeah. Well, Hanson Anderson will definitely be able to help you out with that. We would probably be able to go up and see him tomorrow at some point.
Thank you,
If we're still at the
Sister
end, we're still
Rena.
at the end.
I think this would be very good. Sorry to make you guys all do that just to figure this out, but
Is this a good area?
No, that was on me. I was supposed to figure that out. What's up?
Is this a good area?
This will be very
Any
helpful.
Questions that you want me to answer? Or should I
Yes.
wait?
That's very much, yeah.
yeah, I mean that's all I want to do. Go ahead and do your thing, my man.
Just a quick question before everybody goes to bed or whatever. Does anybody have any questions for Reyna as of yet?
I don't think that Wolfram would interrogate you on this. I think you prepped him to expect some strange things, and he's just kind of following along,
Should Raina
taking it as it is. So
That's completely up to you. Do it if you want to.
know.
Do it if you want to. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
I just don't know. Like, is it too early?
I'm not sure
Do it if you
what
want
I
to. It is
should ask
completely up to
in
you. I
order to
cannot
get
tell
any
you.
information that might be pertinent to myself.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna do something. Give me 1 second.
I can make a deck save. I'm ready.
Okay, I'm telling my story.
It's a dirty 20. Do I survive?
I actually just flipped the coin because I couldn't decide if I wanted to tell y'all Reyna's story now or if I wanted to wait. I feel like Reyna would go ahead and let you guys know what was going on because of the kind of situation that you see that she's in with the Name Foundation and where they now have her housing and stuff like that. So, you guys get to know about Reyna's backstory.
Drop the plot.
So, approximately 2 years ago, Reyna has always been an archaeologist when she started exploring. She kind of started getting into the Name Foundation pretty early on. My family is from, is it Farnar? Farnar, up in the north-hand corner of the map. So, that is where I grew up. So the Name Foundation is relatively close to where I'm from. So I got into it pretty quickly on my exploration time. About 2 years ago, Reyna was on a mission with a group of other archaeologists. Reyna was pretty high up in the rankings of the Name Foundation. But after this one, I got pretty demoted. So, we were exploring the ruins one night in an area that had not been discovered yet. And we were going through the tunnels, and we found some runes that I was trying to decode along with my fellow archaeologists. I touched something in the stones that looked kind of like the phases of the moon. All of a sudden, a huge bright white light lit the entire room up. Reyna does not remember anything from this time. All she knows is the next thing she knows, she woke up. I have the lavender color hair that I have now. I woke up with the pupils. I don't know if anybody has probably not noticed, but my pupils change shape with the phases of the moon that I am currently on. And I also have a tattoo on my arm that is the phases of the moon that light up when I'm on that phase. And I'm doing magic from that phase of the moon.
I feel like our characters at least would have noticed that. It'd be kind of hard to miss.
Yeah. I wore a leather bracelet around my tattoo. This is the first time that any of the characters would have seen my tattoo as well. Because I kind of tried to keep that one hidden.
Because to be fair,
You're muted.
yeah, because of how it works, her tattoo is her focus, and it lights up as well when she casts spells. Like it lights up. It's like a very bright flashlight. So she's had to have kept that covered, and she has.
Gotcha.
And one of the main reasons she wanted to keep it closed up, and one of the main reasons that this is the very first time that she has been with a group again, is because when she awoke from that blinding light that she found, everyone on that crew and around her were completely incinerated. They were literally burned to a crisp. I couldn't find anybody to figure out which one was which, and I had to leave there, heal, and then come back. And by the time I came back, Sibo did not believe my complete story and feels that I am very dangerous. Hence the armed men and the way he spoke to me. And essentially the demotion from a beautiful apartment to a very crappy one.
What happens to the other archaeologists?
They were all burned to death. I don't know. Apparently, when the bright light happened, I guess some kind of flame came out of me or my arm or something, and burned them all to a crisp. I really don't know. I was knocked out right as the light hit, so I don't really know.
Wolfram just nods. Regrettable.
It has been a pleasure getting to a new group, so I'm very excited that I was given a second chance, essentially.
Just hope you don't incinerate us.
This was unnecessary, Brother Drefian.
Reina, I am honored to be a part of your team and a part of your family.
I promise not to incinerate you. I haven't done it yet, and I haven't done it in the past 2 years. So I still don't know if it was just from the runes on the wall or what it was exactly. But I'll do my damnedest not to incinerate you.
This is appreciated. In turn, I will not eat you. Wolfram is attempting a joke.
I appreciate that, Wolfram.
And that's not me making a joke at Wolfram's expense. That's actually Wolfram in character trying to make a joke.
I get that, and it's so, like, it's kind of like that bland piece where it's like, yeah, that is definitely Wolfram type of joke.
It's very deadpan. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to ease the tension because this is something that obviously is upsetting to you. So, yeah.
Yes. Also, I have not spoken to my family since all of this happens, so if we do end up going to visit my family at any time, none of them know that I now have purple hair, and that I had a whole crew to incinerate in front around me, so yay!
You have not seen them in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen them since I really went out exploring. I used to write letters every 6 months, but I haven't written one in a little over, probably 2.5 years, because it would have been the first letter right before the rune happened, or about 2 years, because it would have been right before the rune thing happened, and then after that I just haven't written to them. I haven't known what to say.
Do they live in the city?
No, they live in Farnar.
No, they live in...
They live in Farnar.
No, they live in Farnar.
Wolfram does not know where this is, but he's not going to ask.
It's on the, like, left-hand side of the map, like, very kind of far away. It would probably take us about 2 to 3 days to go around the water.
Gotcha.
Probably a week.
Nice.
What you looking at? I don't know.
To
Okay, yeah, I mean, I think that answers all my questions.
get to Farnar from Helm's Keep is like several weeks of travel. keep in mind this is a continent like the size of America, and you're limited to like horse and wagon.
Right.
Kindle.
By the way, DM, could you remind us just real quick? We are here to investigate a cult.
Yes. The last that you were told from Birdie and his gang is that there is a new conduit, essentially the same thing that Connor was being used as, to bring a being similar to the Hunger, the one that you dealt with Connor, into the world. And that's being done by the conduit has kind of gathered a cult around himself, worshipping him as a powerful being.
And we must destroy this to slow and or stop the encroaching of the Hunger into this world.
Yes.
All right. I like to make sure I still keeping the goals in mind, and I do kind of it does start to get fuzzy after a while, so I like to ask.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, essentially at this point, you guys have been like together and doing stuff for a couple of months now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's been a hot minute.
Yeah. Maybe I should just like make a note here that says objective in big letter. Quest log. Yes.
There you go.
Quest log.
Right, main scenario, sub-quest.
So, you guys, sorry, Raina, is that the extent of your? I want to make sure that you're good with it. I want to make sure that you're okay with what happened, how you said it, etc., etc.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So you guys kind of settle down for the night, go to your rooms, and it's a relatively there's not much commotion or anything like that. It's just a night in a town. There's some noise and stuff, but just people who stay up late. Nothing crazy. Raina, in the middle of the night, your door is kicked in. Yeah, I know that sigh all too well. Your door is kicked in, and these 2 guards from earlier, in addition to 3 more guards, storm into your room and hold you at spear point. And one of them barks, screaming at you. I'm not going to scream because, audio, but essentially screams at you, Raina Weinstock, we know it was you. You are under arrest for the murder of the...
Wolfram appears in the doorway. I rolled a nat 20 on my perception check.
Yeah, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, so you get there right as, like, in the middle of a sentence. For the murder of the... Oh, God.
Archaeologist?
No, it's a recent thing.
I don't know, bro.
You are under arrest for the murder of the Feldhelm family, and they're standing around you, spear points, and I think that's a good point to call it tonight.
Alright.
I love it.
You hear a bang down the hallway, thunk, 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 and there's a large man standing with glowing red eyes in the dark hallway behind them.
Trust me, they're not excited